Welcome to another episode of Student Affairs Shares, an informative webinar series designed to keep parents and families informed. Super excited for our next guest. Today, we will be featuring KU Hero, which is our health education resource office. And I'm going to allow our guests to introduce themselves.
Hey, thanks, Nikita. Hello, everyone. My name is Jenny McKee, and I am the Associate Director of the Health Education Resource Office.
Thank you so much for joining me today, Jenny. So first off, can you share a little bit about KU Hero? Share some highlights, what you all do, and what are the resources that you all provide?
Absolutely. Well, first off, the Health Education Resource Office, affectionately known as HERO, is co located inside of Watkins Memorial Health Center alongside Watkins Health Services and Counseling and Psychological Services. And we're kind of tucked into that, southeast corner of campus, very accessible to students across the part or across the street is the largest student parking lot on campus, and there are two bus stops very close by. Of course, there's many pathways that lead right to our door, so we're very accessible to students. We're open 8 to 5 Monday through Friday, but we often take our show out on the road, and students will even see us on evenings and weekends. Our role on campus is to provide prevention health education to really help our students be the best version of themselves. We often say, when we feel well, we do well. And we truly believe that. So when we can give students tips and tools to stay well, we know that they're going to perform much better inside of the classroom, but also outside of the classroom. And the way that we provide that prevention health education is through our dynamic events, through presentations in classrooms, residence halls, and to different clubs and organizations. And then, of course, through our one on one health coaching programs.
Perfect. Thank you so much for that. KU Hero is one of my favorites on campus. I think you all do some great work here for our students. So thank you so much for sharing that. And so now I'm going to transition us into our Q&A portion, where you'll give a little bit more insight based off the questions that I asked you. So first and foremost, can families contact Hero directly with concerns, or is communication limited due to privacy laws such as FERPA?
Yeah, that's a great question. We absolutely take phone calls from parents, classmates, and other people who care about that particular student. Oftentimes, that might be even a point of contact for us to reach out to that student. And you mentioned FERPA. That is something that we're absolutely beholden to. If a student has met with us, we aren't able to share any information about that meeting. And I think that's really important because when a student comes to one of our health coaching sessions, when they're in our office, our promise to them is, for the most part, confidentiality, right? We want that student to feel comfortable to talk about the health issue that brought them into our office, and that they will know that we will meet them where they are, completely judgment free, but also that we are not going to share that information with anyone else. Just one other thing to follow up with that, because we're co located with Watkins and CAPS in this building, we often get medical referrals.
Mm.
So not only do we subscribe to FERPA, sometimes we also have to make sure that we are aware of HIPAA laws and that we're not sharing medical information as well. So those two things are really important to not just us, but the students that we serve. That being said, we love talking to parents. We feel like we care about their students just as much as they do.
Absolutely. Love to hear that. And so, what would you say is the best way for families to stay informed about hero events or additional initiatives that you all are implementing throughout the academic year?
Totally. So our website is very much so kept up to date, especially with the KU calendar piece. That's a fantastic way for not just students, but also parents, guardians, and other folks that care about students to know what we're doing, where we're going, and where we will be. So our website is wonderful, but also if you have an Instagram account, giving us a follow on Instagram is an awesome way to help us pass on those health prevention tips and tools. Your student's going to see it from us, but then also that follow up from you, reminding your student different ways to stay safe, stay healthy is really fantastic. So our website is just hero ku.edu. And then our Instagram account is at KU Hero_.
Yes, thank you so much. So you talked a lot about um, health prevention, coaching, things like that. And we know that there are different things that students can get involved with here at the university, particularly through Hero. So when we think about things such as alcohol, drugs, and substances that students might engage with, how does Hero help students make informed decisions around some of those things?
That's a great question. Research shows that many students that enter the college arena have already experimented with alcohol, cannabis, or other substances before they even get here. But there's an added element of peer expectation to use. And for some students, it is the first time that they're using those substances and they don't have any experience in that way. So we want to make sure that our students know that when they come to us or when they see us out on campus, hosting an event related to that content area, that they're going to receive just the facts. We're not going to tell them what to do or what not to do, but we will, depending on what their personal health and wellness goals are in relationship to alcohol or substance use, what those might be, that we will help them kind of navigate that use in comparison or in relationship to their personal goals. So we'll be really honest with them and provide them with the facts about using. Of course, we'll address the kind of legal issues or what the state of Kansas laws are in relationship to alcohol or other substance use. But we also really focus on harm reduction strategies, meaning we like to equip our students with ways that they can stay safe regardless of what their choices are. Finally, Nakia, we do know that there's a very strong majority or minority of students that don't use any substances at all. We still feel like it's really important for them to get education about substance use. That way, if they're in a situation where they see someone that maybe has overused or that might be struggling because of, they know how to intervene and be a pro-social active bystander.
Oh, wow, that is phenomenal because we know that, like you said, prior to students arriving to the university, they might have already experimented. But then also, we know that once they get here, they might feel that pressure that even if they haven't experimented or they were, that might increase. So, I really love that you all are providing that education for our students, wherever they might fall on the spectrum, just so that they can make informed decisions. And then if they find that they are having some challenges and they need that additional help, you all are able to provide that for them. In that same regard, what resources does Hero offer for sexual health and healthy relationships? And then are there low cost sexual health supplies that are offered through KU Hero?
Absolutely. And I just have to say, sexual health is my favorite of all of our content areas. So happy that you asked about this. While some students might have experimented sexually or might have had relationships in middle school and high school, really for many students, their college age years are the first time that they're getting into long term relationships and really experimenting with their sexuality. That being said, most students come here with very little sexual health education, and so Hero takes great pride in being a partner with other campus partners for students to really learn about what it means to be a sex positive individual to have body literacy and to really engage in healthful relationships. So, all of our health educators have a health coaching program that they oversee. And we have one that is specific to a healthy sexuality and healthy relationships. It's called Sex Positive Coaching.
Mm.
And students can come in and meet with one of our health educators and get their sexual health questions answered in a judgment free environment, get just the facts, and really help figure out how they would like to move forward and expressing their sexuality and what that means to them. We do have free safer sex supplies available in our office that are available for students to come pick up in the Hero lobby. But we also have them available in residence halls. So RAs, scholarship hall, health chairs, they place orders and we make deliveries all over campus. There's even some campus partners within student affairs that have safer sex supplies available for students to pick up. And that's especially important to me. We know that not all students know about Hero, but they might already be deeply engaged and have a trusting relationship with one of our sibling departments. So if they can pop in at CAPS or Watkins or the Student Engagement Center or the Sexual Assault Prevention and Education Center, they're already going to those places. If they see safer sex supplies, they're going to feel a lot more comfortable picking those things up at a place that is well known to them.
Thank you so much for that. It sounds like you all offer a variety of things. I know when I was in undergrad, I didn't necessarily know about the different resources specific to some of these topics that we know are taking place on college campuses. So, shout out to KU Hero for providing these phenomenal resources to our Jayhawks. Um, and so, if I'm a student, how can I get involved or work with KU?
Great question. We have two available opportunities for leadership. We have peer health educator coordinators who are students that work with us in paid positions. And they come along with us, providing those presentations, helping us out at events. And then they're in our office, really to be that first point of contact when students come in. We know that peer education is incredibly important for students to feel as though they're going to be heard and that that's going to be a safe environment for them. So our peer health educator coordinators is one way. We also have a volunteer organization, also called the Peer Health Educators, and students can find us on Rock Chalk Central, apply to be a member, and then they'll be contacted by either one of our health educators or one of those coordinators to get more information about how to get started. Those peer health educator volunteers come from any major. You don't have to be pre med or pre nursing or pre OT. You could really be from any major as long as you're interested in health and wellness and you're passionate about getting prevention education information out there.
Thank you so much for that. And then lastly, what programs or initiatives would you encourage parents and families to send their students to in KU?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm so glad that you asked because I'm just realizing I've talked about alcohol, cannabis, and other substances. I've talked about sexual health, but we do have several other health topics that we call content areas that we really strive to spend a lot of time on. And those include nutrition and food security,
Mm.
self management and mental health, and then finally, tobacco or nicotine cessation. Each one of those five content areas has a health coaching program or multiple health coaching programs that I'd love to highlight. So, a health coaching session is an opportunity for a student to meet one on one with a health educator and for that student to talk about their personal health and wellness goals. Regardless of what that might be, Nikita, We are there to meet that student where they are, hear more about what their goals are, and then motivate them to reach that goal and really make a behavior change that is going to help them succeed. I think there's this misnomer that college is something that students struggle through and that it's just an experience that we survive. In Hero, we believe that healthy hawks can thrive and it's not just about survival, and that our health coaching programs are really how we make that possible. I do have one event that I'd love to plug if we
Yes,
have.
please.
Okay. Our wellness fair is coming up. It is on October 1st, and it is outside of the Kansas Union, which is where freshman orientation happened over the summer. That front patio space called Ascher Plaza. We will be there from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m., flanked by many of our campus partners and some off campus partners as well, to really showcase students and help them make the connection that our health is holistic. And it's not just about physical health. That's just one dimension of wellness. There's 7 other dimensions of wellness that we need to be mindful of. We want to help students make connections, not just to KU Hero, but to some of our amazing campus partners. And we hope to see all of your students there.
Wow. Thank you so much, Jenny. I know that I will be there on October 1st. And so looking forward to encouraging our Jayhawks to attend that wellness fair. I'm very sure that our parents will also be excited to send their students to that fair to learn more about you all's resources and then the
Yeah.
different campus partners that you all partner with throughout the academic year. Um, those are all the questions I have for you. I want to thank you for this valuable conversation. Thank KU Hero for the valuable work that you're doing here at KU. And just thank you for being my featured guest today.
Yeah, well, thanks for having me. And from the Hero team, they say thank you as well. And we can't wait to see you at the Wellness Fair.
All right. Thank you so much.